And welcome to Radio Vision Network. And this is Morning Coffee, Fridays with Carole. I'm Carole Moore, and today we're talking about stamp collecting. I bet some of you never even collected a stamp, but we have here a gentleman who is involved with one of the premier stamp collecting groups here in southern New Jersey where I live. And won't you tell everybody your name and your title and give us a little hint as to the organization that you're with.
Thank you, Carole. I'm Max Ariel. I represent the Merchantville Stamp Club, which is the only stamp club surviving in this part of the world in South New Jersey. We are an organization that was founded back in 1931. Started with two gentlemen with a 10-cent transaction stamps. They met in their home, and then they decided to organize themselves as a club. The club has existed and operated since then continuously from 1931. So we're approaching 85 years by October.
Wow. In 1931, how many members did you have back then?
They started with 7 people, then grew to 12, and today we are 120.
120.
We have 120 members.
Oh, wonderful.
The organization, we meet now 3 times a month. We have 2 night meetings, 8 o'clock in the evening, and that lasts for about 30 minutes, and then the meeting is followed by an auction or educational program. And also to accommodate members who have difficulty driving at night, I have organized a daytime meeting once a month.
Oh, that's good. And where do the meetings take place?
The night meetings are held at the Temple Lutheran Church in Pennsauken.
Temple Lutheran Church, Pennsauken.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
5600 Route 130,
Right.
also known as Crescent Boulevard, I believe. And the daytime meeting is held at the Beneficial Bank in Cherry Hill at the corner of Springdale Road and Route 70.
That's wonderful that a bank is sponsoring you.
Yes, and the bank is giving us a complete free use of their beautiful conference room,
Oh.
complete with coffee and tea and all the amenities of the room. So we're grateful that for no cost we're able to
Absolutely, the price is right.
Exactly right.
Right.
There's
Right.
no way to
Now, of course, I'm the president of the New Jersey Stamp Club with Camp Whitebriar, only because I have a summer camp and the children have been doing this for 20 years. And we all know that Ben Franklin was the very, very first postmaster, and that's why it's called the Ben Franklin Stamp Club. When I was a school teacher, on rainy days or inclement weather, the kids got out their stamp books and traded and swapped, and we always taught the kids to keep 2 stamps, one for trading and one for your permanent collection. And then we've always taught the campers, the stamp collectors, never sell your stamps. Hold on to them. When you get to college, take them to the bank. Let the bank hold them in the vault for collateral as you get a student loan, and when that's paid off, your stamps will be worth even more. So I'm very instrumental in preserving stamps. When did you personally start collecting stamps?
I started collecting stamps when I was, I think, 12 or 13 years old. This is so it's about 53 odd years or 56 years ago today in the Philippines.
And I was going to say that
Yes.
you have a slight accent.
Right,
You do
right.
very good in English. So you've been here a long time. Yes.
Yeah.
And so I wondered if in the Philippines is where you started.
Indeed. In fact, ironically, between the United States and the Philippines, today I can tell you there are a lot more young people getting into the hobby. The reason simply is because the alternatives for them are less than here. What I mean by that is...
So the Philippine kids are more involved in stamp collecting than
Today.
the American kids
Absolutely.
are today. Oh.
The reason is pure economics. In less developing countries, which Philippines still classified as one of those, money is difficult. So children, not as many children here can afford things like tablets or Disney dolls or what. So they go for something more affordable, and that is stamps.
And stamps are the best.
Absolutely.
Because they're free. Somebody has already paid for the stamp to send the letter or the package.
That's correct.
And all you do is tear the paper, and in my days all we did was float them, and then we organized them in we used 3-ring notebooks.
There you go.
And I taught the camp kids to make their own dividers out of recycled paper or
Right.
recycled cardboard, so that it's a very economical thing that kids can do. And as a school teacher, that's the way I teach history, and the kids don't even know they're learning history.
That's absolutely right.
Every person whose face is on a stamp, you have to research and find out why.
Yeah. In fact, last year I had a joint project with the Friends of the Pennsauken Library, and we had an inaugural exhibition at the library, and we called it Knowledge Through Books and Stamps. It's a very interesting project because if you look at the library and stamp collecting, we have one common thing, and that's knowledge. If you go to the library, you acquire knowledge through the books. If you collect stamps, the stamps provide or convey knowledge to you.
Absolutely.
Now, unfortunately, our status or our fate is almost not quite as the same, but the alternatives now are so many in terms of the library. When we were young, you have to go to the library to get knowledge.
To get a book, even to get a book.
Right.
Hold
Now
that
today-
thought just for a second.
Yeah.
We're going to go to a break, and we'll be right back, and we're talking stamp collecting here on Radio Vision Network. Camp, stamps, and all the fun that you can have at very little cost. Be right back.
Now, I want to talk about that because I think it's
Sure.
interesting for people to know that.
Absolutely. We'll come right back to
Okay.
that.
Today's show is sponsored by Hargrove Demolition, your demolition experts. Hargrove is a family-owned and operated business right here in the southern New Jersey area, bringing you 45 years of demolition expertise. Hargrove has all your demolition needs, from emergency demolition service to demolition equipment rental. Hargrove is one of the state-approved recycling facilities right here in the southern New Jersey area. No job is too big or too small for Hargrove Demolition. Contact them today at one of their 3 locations.
When it's time for Jersey Mike's to give a sub some sizzle, this is the way. The way it's always been. The way it always should be. The way it always will be. Because that's just the way it's supposed to be. Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above.
If you haven't been to Speed Raceway, what are you waiting for? You want to live fast? You want to make every second count? Then grab the family. Round up the guys. Speed Raceway is 100,000 square feet of excitement, whether you're a kid or a kid at heart. Speed Raceway is the place for endless fun all summer long. Log on to speedraceway.com or just get here now.
When we make Beyond Natural dry dog and cat foods, we start with real meat as the first ingredient. We leave out corn, wheat, and soy. And we own where our dry food is made. 100%. Can other brands say all that? For nutrition you can trust and your pet will enjoy. Does your food go beyond? Learn more at purinabeyond.com.
Extra Innings is the nation's premier indoor baseball and softball training center, featuring indoor batting cages, 7 multi-use tunnels, and training rooms. Extra Innings can provide professional instruction, private and group lessons, and the best year-round clinics. Along with a nationally recognized pro shop that features the latest and widest selection of equipment and apparel, our experienced staff can provide you with the right instruction and help you find the best equipment for your ability and budget. Extra Innings, where the game never ends.
Today's show has been sponsored by More Than Gifts. Come see our new location in Marlton, New Jersey. Not just gifts, but more.
collecting here. So tell us a little more about the books and stamps, the education through the library, and some programs that you're having.
Thank you, Carol. Last year, in partnership with the Friends of the Pennsauken Library, we put up a stamp exhibition at the library. This is the Pennsauken Public Free Library.
That's right on Route 130,
That's
the public
exactly correct.
library in Pennsauken, yes.
In fact, I think the landmark will be the Pennsauken Municipal Hall.
Yes, right behind the municipal building in Pennsauken.
In fact, ironically, the stamp club that I belong to, the Merchantville Stamp Club, we meet at the Temple Lutheran Church, diagonally across.
Right across the highway.
Right.
I do know right where that's a very pointy church. I recognize
Exactly,
it. One
exactly.
of my cousins was married there, yes.
Well, the project was that we jointly are promoting not only stamps but also books, and so we called the project Knowledge Through Books and Stamps.
Knowledge through books and stamps.
Right.
And you're a library and a stamp club working together to get
Exactly.
this information out to everybody of every age.
Absolutely. And so we had a joint venture project with them, and we had the inaugural exhibition last year, and Jerry Tobacco I think she was a former mayor of the city, was our guest speaker, and we had a guest, like 80 people who came at the opening.
Wonderful.
And we will continue that. The next one will be in, I believe, the last week in October. And we do that in October because that's what is called the Stamp Collecting Month.
Oh, okay.
So for one full month, we will be there exhibits. And people who come view the exhibits, they can vote on their favorite exhibit, and they get the chance to win a prize, because at the end of the show we will pull out
a ticket.
a ticket of
Wonderful.
because they help us determine who
Sure.
is the most popular. Or last year the winner was a high school student. She exhibited, I think she exhibited about the independence, and she got the most votes for her exhibit. So we were thrilled because we really are doing this project for the young people more than ourselves.
Absolutely. I noticed that when I went to the Hamilton Library and they had the Hamilton Stamp Club
Mhm.
there. And I noticed at that time that, number one, I was the only female in the audience. And the average age of the men in the audience was about 60, 65. So it seemed to me it was an older hobby for the elderly, but it's not, because my summer campers are at the age of 3 years old. I can teach them to collect stamps. They know how to tear the corner off the envelope. They know how to lay the stamp face down, so because the ink weighs
Correct.
more than the glue, and then it comes off easier.
Right.
Then they dry them on a paper plate, and then they organize them. And even my 3-year-olds can put all the flowers on one page, all the faces on one page, all the buildings on another page, and it's a way of them organizing. And as an educator, I see stamp collecting as a way of teaching organization as well as history.
That's absolutely correct. The only problem we have is that not the criticism of the children, because there's so many alternatives. Stamps does not provide instant gratification. So the children have to be really conscientious about what to get and how to organize it. But it's a very, very effective tool for discipline and, as you said, getting things organized. Having said that, about the age of the stamp collectors, you're absolutely correct. We are all old people. In fact, my wife one time challenged me and said, "What do you do in your meetings?" I said, "Well, we talk about stamps." "What? Twice a week or month or 3 times a month you talk only about stamps? You're a bunch of 60, 70-year-old people looking at each other." So that gave me the idea that I really have to do something, especially in our meeting. So what I've done, the first thing I did was we got a audiovisual equipment for the stamps to encourage our members to talk about not only stamps, but anything related to philately. Because our objective really is to promote philately through fellowship. In addition to that, our organization disseminates information about the stamp collecting through education. And I run an outreach program in schools in Pensoken, in Collingswood, and in Camden. And instead of just telling the children about stamps, I have initiated a stamp design contest.
Oh, wonderful.
So what we do is, after talking about stamps to the students, we give them templates, which is like a border, like stamps, and they design their own
They
stamps.
design their own stamp.
And
That's wonderful.
Our organization give gold medals per
Oh,
grade.
that's great.
And the stamp designs of the students, connecting it to the knowledge books and stamps that will be on the Pensoken Library, they will be on display.
Oh, that's
So-
wonderful.
so you will see
So
the-
they have recognition.
Absolutely.
They have gratification and recognition instantly
Right.
by doing this. Now, one of the things that I thought was really neat was that you said you have gone into nursing homes and senior centers
Not quite
to
yet.
talk to.
We want to.
You want to, because I have done that.
Okay.
And I have found that most senior citizens had a stamp collection at some time.
Right.
We didn't have these little pocket electronic gadgets and things, so we did the stamp collecting. It was free, the price was right. And what was really neat was one of my campers, I told all the kids to go home and talk to their grandparents. Talk to your grandparents about stamp collecting. And guess what? Every one of their grandparents had a collection up in the attic, and they brought them down and gave them to the kids.
That's
So hold that thought, and we'll be right back with Radio Vision Network Morning Coffee. And this is Friday with Carole. I'm Carole Moore, and we're talking stamp collecting.
When it's time for Jersey Mike's to give a sub some sizzle, this is the way. The way it's always been. The way it always should be. The way it always will be. Because that's just the way it's supposed to be. Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above.
Simply Gents, located in Marlton, New Jersey, takes care of all your grooming needs, including haircuts, straight razor shaves, massages, facial, manicures, pedicures, and waxing. To find more information or book an appointment, visit us online at www.simplygents.com. The secret weapon of a well-groomed man, Simply Gents.
If you haven't been to Speed Raceway, what are you waiting for? You want to live fast? You want to make every second count? Then grab the family. Round up the guys. Speed Raceway is 100,000 square feet of excitement, whether you're a kid or a kid at heart. Speed Raceway is the place for endless fun all summer long. Log on to speedraceway.com or just get here now.
When it's time for Jersey Mike's to make a really great sub, this is what we do. It's what we've been doing. It's what we've always done. It's what we'll always do. So what are you doing? Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above.
Today's show was brought to you by Alicia Kelly of White Horse RV Center in Williamstown, New Jersey. Alicia is your RV expert. Contact Alicia at alicia@whitehorserv.com or give her a call at 856-262-1717, extension 203. When you think of RV, think Alicia Kelly.
Today's show has been sponsored by Farmers Insurance in Voorhees, New Jersey. To protect your assets and the people you love, call Mike Skoranek, your local Farmers Insurance agent, at 856-336-2553.
We are farmers. Bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 bum.
We're back here with Radio Vision Network, and this is Morning Coffee, Fridays with Carole. I'm And I have brought our stamp collecting club here, and we're talking about educating kids about stamp collecting and every age group. So why don't you tell us a little bit more as to how people can get in touch with you, where they can come to your meetings, and how they can become part of the Philatelic Society. Now, in case they don't know, a stamp collector is a philatelist. Yes, I teach all my summer campers, even the 4-year-olds, the word philately. Okay? And when they're at the dinner table and they ask their mother and father what the word means, the kids know the word and the parents don't. So the kids think it's wonderful. So tell us how we can get in touch with you and your organization.
Okay. The organization, again, is Merchantville Stamp Club. The best way to get to us would be through our website, merchantvillestampclub.org. Our website would tell you a little bit of the history of the club, where we meet, how often we meet, and the background of the club activities. One of the club activities, as you already mentioned, is what we call the outreach program. And what we do is we go to schools, teach the children how to collect stamps, and we give them also stamps to start with. In fact, for your viewers, anybody interested to start their children, grandchildren, they can contact us and we will send them packets of stamps and albums, beginner's packets, of course, all free. In fact, in October at the Pensoken Library, we will also have those packets. We do the same outreach program at our Saturday bourse. A bourse is where stamp dealers and customers come together, and we do that at the Marlton Elementary School.
Oh, at the Marlton Elementary School.
That's correct.
Okay.
And the next one will be September 3rd. And we have
they can find all these dates out on the website.
Absolutely. And we have a table there called Outreach Table, and people with children come around, they get their stuff, and we talk to them about stamp collecting. Unfortunately, as you said, the age of the stamp collectors are up there. We need
some young blood.
Young blood.
I did notice with my summer campers, I called up some of the stamp companies that have a catalog.
Sure.
And I gave the names of my summer campers and
Right.
their addresses to the company, and they sent them out a catalog
Okay.
with 20 or 30 wonderful stamps,
That's
absolutely free.
That's correct.
And my campers use their catalog
Uh-huh.
because the goal is to see how much your book is worth, okay? So they go and they see a stamp that they have in their collection and it sells for $1.50, well, they add that up. So they add all these $1.50s, and they have their books at about $1,500, $2,000 for the stamp book because they're using these catalogs,
Right.
and they can get even more stamps free from you.
Exactly.
That's wonderful, wonderful.
Yeah.
And it's the Merchantville Stamp Club,
That's correct.
and you meet 3 times a month, 2
That's
times
correct.
in the evening and once in the daytime
Right.
for the people who don't like to drive at night. That's the oldies, right? And you're doing a program with the Pensoken Library,
That's correct.
and you've also is there more than one school that you've done it to? I know
Actually,
the Pensoken school
We
system.
go to one school in Collingswood,
Collingswood,
2 schools in Camden, and
And-
1 school in Pensacola.
Pensoken, Collingswood, and Camden.
Right.
And do you have enough time and enough members to, if we have some school principals out there that are looking for,
Absolutely.
to pick up some good things?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
We'll be very happy. It's all free. We come in with everything, and at the end of the day, after presentation, the children get something in the hopes that they will start collecting stamps.
Yes.
And of course, we're available as an organization through our courses, and once a year also we do an annual stamp show where we have a competitive exhibition, which we just concluded last weekend.
And where is the stamp, is it always in the same place?
We are now in a new place, just in the same campus as where we do the bourse.
Okay.
In the Marlton Middle School.
In Marlton Middle School, but that will be on your website as well.
That's correct, but that's only once a year.
That's good.
That's a bigger bourse. Dealers all the way from Indiana, New York, Pennsylvania, Delaware, and Virginia. They come up to
Absolutely.
to do this stamp dealings or selling.
Yes.
And we had the competitive exhibition.
I know my doctor, Dr. Don, and he collects stamps.
Mhm.
And every stamp, he gets a lot of things from all around the world, and he saves all those stamps for me and the stamp club, the summer camp that I have. And he also goes to those events. He has bought very valuable stamps. That's his hobby as well. So there are a lot of us out there that are stamp collectors, and we hope that you'll be a stamp collector. There's no reason whatsoever why you can't start having dad's secretary at work save the envelopes, or mom's boss get all his mail, and when he's finished emptying the envelope, you save that, and that would be perfect for the beginning of your child's stamp collecting. So there's no reason, as I tell my campers in my stamp club, just get an old loose leaf notebook, make some divisions in the book, and start collecting. Put all the flowers on one page, all the historic buildings on another, and that's the beginning of stamp collecting. And we welcome you to join us into this wonderful hobby that is absolutely free, has no age beginning, and has no age end. Stamp collecting is the way to go. It starts a conversation between kids and adults. It's why does that person have their face on the stamp? Research it on the internet. Put that person's name in and find out about them. So we welcome you to join us as philatelists. That's the word. A philatelist is what I am and what he is, and all of our members are philatelists. And we welcome you to join us in the wonderful love of learning about stamps. And that's it for today on Radio Vision Network. This is Morning Coffee, Friday with Carole, and we hope we see you at one of these stamp collecting conventions that we're going to be having throughout the year. See you next time.